Hi guys, it's April and I garden down in southeast Nebraska, zone 6B, no, 6A, I always get mixed up, 6A, formerly 5B, and I am outside for some garden therapy, because I need it. I have some cilantro and the bunching onions that I need to put out into pots, so that's what I'm gonna do today. And I will admit right now my brain is a little bit all over the place, so you guys are going to get a jabberfest. That is me. Essentially all I'm going to be doing is taking things out of their pots, putting them into other pots. I will be using some biotone to help with the root development and some further, what's the word I'm looking for? Nutrients for these guys to really take off. But I'm mostly here today to just kind of let some things go because, like I said, my brain is a little bit crazy right now. So it is, what? It is Monday, the 29th, I believe is what it is, of April. And this past Friday, our area was hit by several tornadoes. I am very thankful that everything here, as you can see, is still standing, but just a mile or two up the road is not the case. And that is terrifying because that's where family works. And Friday was a very traumatic day for me. I'm not gonna lie, but even more so for my husband, and I don't want to diminish that in any way. For a lot of families in this area and a little north of us, and then a day later south and east of us, even on Friday east of us in Iowa, there were several places that were just devastated. Oh, this is so wet because of all the rain we got. The thing is, I'm still processing everything that happened. I'm thankful that my husband is fine and the rest of my family is fine. I have parents and grandparents and siblings in the area, and they're all fine, and I can't be more thankful for that. The only thing we did lose was our vehicle. It is totally diminished, but I know a lot of people who lost way more than us. And it's hard to see this happen because, I've always lived in an area where this was a possibility, but it never seems real until it happens to you, kind of thing. Let's see if I can even get these out. It's not gonna get totally mangled. There we go. And so it's one of those things that, I've always been super paranoid about tornadoes. And so I'm always one of the first ones who runs to the shelter. I had grabbed all of the animals that we have in the house with us, and I had gone into the bathroom, and I was there for a good, I don't even know anymore, maybe an hour, because the tornadoes, they just kept on popping up all over the place. And I'm very thankful for how connected we are anymore, that we have cell phones and we can immediately check in with each other and all of that. But I didn't think this was going to be one of those things that was going to leave such a lasting impact on me. But we're going to be feeling it for years, I think, at this point. There's just no way that we're not going to be. And I'm sure there are many of you who have seen these same storms that went through this weekend, or heard about them, or seen them on the news and whatnot. It's so weird to think that this is talking about my community. This is talking about my area. I will, if I can find them, I'll put links for several of the support organizations that are trying to get help. I know we have been thinking about the cleanup process and what all that looks like, and trying to salvage what we can and figure out where do we go from here, because it's I don't even know how to describe where my brain is at with all of this. And I'm so thankful for the support that does exist in our community, and how so many people have come together. There's been a lot of prayer. There's been a lot of crying. And sometimes it still doesn't feel real. I don't know if it ever will. And I don't even know what I intended to say when I started all of this. It always comes back to gardening, because I know the day after, when we were still thinking about cleanup and everything we're doing, coming out here and doing stuff, dealing with stuff, because I didn't know what else to do. I needed to keep my mind from replaying things, I guess. And there's something so therapeutic about gardening. And I think what I really enjoy is seeing a lot of the local community garden groups all of a sudden starting to come together, being like, well, I wasn't affected, but I know there might be people out here who lost their gardens, and we all know how much effort we put into things like this. So I can offer you a small section of what I've started, or things like that. Because, I mean, there are just so many homes and livelihoods that have disappeared in an afternoon. And the fact that it was almost me always kind of shakes you a little bit. I'm gonna go put these pots where they're gonna sit for a little while and go get some more pots so I can start the onions. I've always been one of those people who I need to be doing something at any given time. And I think this weekend has taught me that more than anything. And I know there has to come a time where you have to sit down and you actually have to let things be felt. I don't know if I'm there yet. I think once I have the confidence that it's actually going to be all right. And I know it is, but there's still so many unknown variables that are wreaking havoc on my brain that just I don't know. But I've never been more thankful for the garden, just as a sense of peace. I need to make a tag for that. That was the Cabernet. It also brings to mind when something like this happens, I guess. I mean, it plays with your faith. It kind of brings in all of your thought processes of what you put your strength in. And then it reaffirms how thankful you are for people in your life. It makes you very glad that you haven't lost them. And I know that's not the case in some of the communities that were hit. I know Minden, Iowa, at least I believe it was Minden, they were devastated. Elkhorn was hit pretty hard as well, which is very near here, to Elkhorn, Nebraska. It still amazes me that we didn't have any loss of life in our state, and I cannot be more thankful for that. But once again, it's one of those things where that's not true in all of the communities that were hit this weekend. It also makes you realize just how powerful nature can be. It's terrifying. Where did I put the marker? Because that was candy. And I don't know. I guess I'm babbling. Because like I said, I'm processing. And it's one of those things. We're gonna get more weather starting tomorrow. We're gonna have even more storms come through for most of the week. And while it's always a possibility in this area that things like this are gonna happen, I've gone most of my life being extremely lucky and extremely blessed and not having to deal with the aftermath. But this time, the aftermath is here, and it's never been more real. So I guess if you're watching this, if you're listening to me babble, if you're dealing with all these words that maybe are just a big jumble, I don't even know if this is going to get posted. Hug your family, hug your friends, love your garden. I will say I'm not one of those people that is overly good with emotions. I'm more logic-brained than anything else. I love being creative, but I thrive in the logics. So things like this, I don't always do well with. I'm more of a suppressor than a releaser. And I suppose this right here is easier for me to do because I'm not actually looking anybody in the face, except for myself. No, I need to put a label on that first. And I suppose that's why I'm doing this more than anything else. And I have talked through some of this with family and friends. But you also hit a point where you're like, I don't want people to worry about me because there's so many other people who need the attention more than I do. I think that's kind of where my brain is at right now. So I guess I'm here babbling just to let you know that I am okay. I am thankful for that. And I'm thankful to be here in my small little world. I'm also thankful to finally have this really nice day where it's not torrential rains and pretty nice out. We're probably in the high 60s right now. But I figured I should get this finally done. I wanted to get this done weeks ago. And hopefully I won't have to be trying to shelter these and protect these in the next couple of days. I'm hoping it's just your average thunderstorms that happen from here on out. Some of these will be going up on my deck for the kitchen garden area, but I think for now, that's dirty. Hopefully the rain will clean that off. I'm gonna leave them closer to the ground in case we do get those high winds. What's this one? This one. Oh, I can't even read my own writing. Napchin? Okay. This is the actual bunching onions and not my pretend bunching onions. And I'm only labeling these because I like to keep a record of how much I harvest off of each variety. In my wonderful spreadsheet. It's not overly scientific. I don't do it by weight. I know I should do it by weight, but I don't. I'll do it by harvest or by count of how many things I harvested, and that seems to do okay with what I'm, I guess, interested in. And as you can see, I'm still filling some of the beds, which I'm gonna have to get creative with because our main hauling vehicle no longer exists. But it's just this bed and the two tall parts right there and right there. Those two right there that still need to get filled. But all the other beds are filled. I do want to rip up the sod around all of these beds at some point and get mulch around them because I think that would look really nice. And then if vining things decide that they want to go over the beds and maybe root in the mulch, I'm okay with that. But it's kind of hard to mow when you have things falling out of beds. So that was my logic of wanting to pull up the sod. Probably should have pulled my hair back. Living on the edge. I think I was just too excited to get out here during my lunch break. I probably overstuffed these together, but you know, they've always done okay for me. So that's fine. But that was all I was gonna do today, is the cilantro and the bunching onions. So I do wanna thank you guys for sitting and listening to me just kind of wax poetics, I guess. I'm gonna put these back where I got them from. Of course, I'm gonna make a label for that first. That's a deep purple. Okay. I can't write and talk at the same time. So I'm gonna put these back, and we have just passed our expected last frost date. I do like to wait about 2 weeks after that point before I put, say, the peppers or the tomatoes out. But this garden is going to really start filling out. And I might be doing a spring tour soon because we've got some of those radishes that we planted together starting to come up. I haven't checked the carrots in the last couple days. We might have some of those. I don't think the potatoes have come up yet, but the bok choy and the lettuce and the peas are thriving right now. So I might do a mini spring tour, especially since I've been cleaning up some of the in-ground beds and it looks really nice. So if you want to see those videos, if you want to know how this garden is going to be changing over the years, subscribe down below, hit the bell, do all the things to get all of the notifications. I do have an Instagram and Threads account that I usually update a lot quicker than I do here on YouTube just because editing reasons. So you can follow me over there as well if you would like. But I do hope that you guys all have a wonderful, wonderful week. And I do hope I will see you again in another video. Bye.